Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something a little different. It's the really powerful lyrics of Nolan Taylor's song, "No One Is Gonna Love You,"
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to do a kind of, well, an emotional dissection. So our mission here is to look beyond just the obvious pain, the sadness of a breakup song. We want to unpack the rhetoric, the actual arguments. What's the strategy when you're pleading for a relationship to survive? How do you build that case? That's what we're digging into.
Yeah, and it's so important to see this not just as a lament, but almost like a legal brief for the heart. The speaker knows he's losing. He knows all the external arguments are stacked against him, so the whole strategy has to pivot. It has to become about an internal logic that no one else can touch. It's a masterclass, really.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The first thing that jumps out is the immediate, overwhelming sense of crisis. I mean, he doesn't ease into it. He just crashes the scene. The opening line is basically a verbal tackle, right? Hold on. I can feel you slipping further back out before you decide. He's literally trying to freeze time. He sees the person moving toward the door, and he's just demanding a pause.
It creates such high stakes instantly. And the goal is simple. Stop the clock, secure the floor. He has to halt that momentum because all the momentum is pointing toward the exit. And then he says, "Won't you hear me out? Oh, let me plead my case." That's very formal language.
It is, yeah.
It elevates the whole thing. This isn't just a fight. It's a formal defense.
And what I find so interesting is how he immediately tries to, normalize this incredibly tense moment.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of this crisis, he suggests, it's cold out, we can take a walk, we can take a stroll downtown.
That is such a subtle but brilliant move. A walk physically removes them from the emotional battleground of the home. It suggests a shared activity, a shared space. It's trying to anchor the whole conversation in a memory of partnership.
That's such a common tactic, too, trying to stretch out that breakup talk.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes for vulnerability. He says, won't you let it out or you can tell me anything?
And by doing that, by granting that unconditional permission to listen, he completely shifts the dynamic. It's not defensive anymore. It's an invitation. He's saying, I see your pain and I'm ready to absorb it, which sets the stage perfectly for the next, and I'd say very counterintuitive move.
Right. So once he's bought that time and, established that he's open to hearing the worst, what's next? Because this next part feels like the riskiest part of the whole plea.
It is. He immediately confronts the opposition head on. And he does it by basically conceding.
Yeah. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. He validates all the external reasons for her to leave. He says it outright, I know your family, they don't like me.
Mm.
And then he adds that unbelievable line, they have the right.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on, isn't that a massive risk? I mean, if you admit that everyone who loves your partner is right about you, doesn't that just hand them the reason to walk away? Why isn't that just rhetorical suicide?
You'd think so, but it's actually a brilliant high-level tactic. He even adds the friends in, right? I know your friends think I ain't good enough. Mm. By conceding all of this, he's performing a kind of rhetorical sleight of hand. He's neutralizing the entire external argument.
How so?
Think of it this way. He's saying, all those reasons you have, they're valid. I agree. You don't even need to say them. So now that we agree on all that, let's set it aside. By agreeing her family is right, he isolates the relationship itself.
Wow. So he's shutting the door on all the noise,
Mm-hmm.
all the practical, logical reasons for the breakup.
Exactly. The admission of fault serves one purpose, to draw a tiny circle around just the two of them. He's saying, the world is right about me, but the world doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the bond between us. The argument shifts from his worth to their mutual necessity.
Okay, so he's neutralized the external threats. Now he has to deliver the core reason why the relationship has to continue.
Yes. The entire case now hinges on one central claim, the song's motif.
This is the thesis, isn't it? The whole emotional core. If everything on the outside is against them, the inside has to be irreplaceable. And he asserts this with, intense repetition.
With a powerful duality.
It's those two claims over and over. First, no one is going to love you like I do, which is, it's a standard romantic claim, but it's powerful. But it's the second part that adds all the weight. No one is going to need your heart and soul the way that I do.
The word choice there is so critical. Most pleas focus on love. Love implies choice, affection. Need implies something else entirely. It implies survival, necessity. He's raising the stakes from preference to function.
And heart and soul. That's not a small detail.
Not at all. It elevates it. This isn't about needing her presence or companionship. It's a claim that he requires her very essence, her core, and the implication is that her heart and soul won't be as necessary anywhere else.
So it's not just I choose you, it's I cannot function without you, and you are only fully realized when I require you.
Mm.
It turns it from a partnership into a kind of existential dependency.
Precisely. And if you link that back to him admitting all his faults, well, if the family is right about his failings, then this unique, absolute necessity is the only thing left. It's the highest possible stake, a closed loop. I need you completely and only I can love you this way. So leaving isn't just leaving me, it's rejecting a fundamental truth about yourself.
Which brings us to the final stage, I think the most emotionally complicated part of the argument, this paradox of control and dependence, how he closes his case.
It's a devastating emotional trap, really. He offers her the freedom she wants, but he attaches a very heavy price to it. Look at when he offers to help with the breakup. I'll grab your things and we can make this easier.
On the surface, that sounds selfless, almost kind. But what's really happening there, he's shifting all the responsibility, isn't he? He's saying, I'm so broken I can't even handle the logistics. You have to be the one to perform the final cut.
Absolutely. He minimizes his own agency while maximizing her role in inflicting the final pain, and that's immediately followed by the open door policy. You can come on home if you feel you're ready, baby, you're welcome. He's framing it not as an ending, but as an indefinite pause that only she controls.
And then comes a line that it just seals the deal.
Yeah.
I'm your fool and you know that I will hang on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just admitting he's dependent. He's actively claiming the role of the martyr who will just wait.
It's the weaponization of his own pain, but it's framed as devotion.
It's so much more powerful than getting angry or making threats.
So much more. By saying, I'm your fool, he ensures that her decision to leave is now burdened with the knowledge that she's consciously hurting a loyalist. Someone who, by his own admission, can't protect himself. She becomes responsible for his suffering.
And that makes leaving feel cruel.
Exactly. And you can't miss the very last request about time. Please don't leave me hanging on for too long. He's acknowledging her control, but he's also placing a demand on her to be efficient in her cruelty. He's making her responsible for his future timeline.
So the whole argument concludes not with a fight, but with this profound, self-aware dependence.
The entire case is built and closed using his own vulnerability as the final, unanswerable point.
So if we put it all together, what do we got? We see this structure. It starts with crisis, then moves to a validation of the opposition. From there, he makes his exclusive claim of need, and it ends with what you're calling a dependent release. It's a strategy designed to dismantle every rational reason for leaving and replace it with one overwhelming emotional reason to stay.
Yeah, and the power of it all is in its directness, its vulnerability. By giving her permission to leave, and even agreeing with all the reasons she might have, he strips away all the easy outs. And what's left is this single, powerful argument to return, all anchored in the idea that their connection is uniquely essential. It's an incredible rhetorical performance.
Which leaves us with a final, provocative thought for you to think about.
If a plea for someone to stay relies completely on the argument that no one else will love you like I do, and, more importantly, no one else will need your heart and soul, what's the real difference between that being a statement of a genuine, irreplaceable connection and it being a highly effective form of emotional leverage designed to control someone's freedom? Something to think about next time you listen.